Hello everyone, happy Friday. I decided to shake things up for my Friday Fives blog and make a vlog instead. And a video just wouldn't be the same without a cat in it because that's my life. But this vlog post is all about the things that I have been working on. As you know, I started an everyday entrepreneurs video series on YouTube. When I first kind of officially went off on my own on June 1st and just kind of shared the everyday kind of nuggets and things that I was learning, working on, struggling with, celebrating, kind of everything in between. I will say that first month I was just like kind of in a state of euphoria and a little bit of shock. If you scroll back a little bit, you'll see a post on someone who really hurt me, and so one thing I couldn't do in my video is really talk about it, and maybe someday I'll be able to and you'll understand why, but for now you get what you get. So this vlog is all about what I'm working on, and I'm super excited. Some of it I've been sharing on social media, some of it's I haven't actually talked about with really anyone or very many people, so you kind of get the inside scoop. So number one is Flourish. If you are part of FemCity or follow FemCity, you've probably seen this concept, this event we're doing that has really never been done before in the Metro, but it's also, I don't know if it's ever been done, period, outside of the nonprofit space. So there's an awesome event called Soup, and it's based in Detroit, and the idea is getting a bunch of people together, and 3 people pitch an idea, and someone leaves with a pot of money. So come in, buy your soup, and all the proceeds go to fund this concept, project, idea, nonprofit, whatever. So because I love business and because I think you can use business for good, Flourish is all about funding ideas that matter. So it's about ideas that people can get excited about and people can feel really pumped to support in Des Moines. It makes Des Moines a better place. These are ideas that, like I said, people can get behind and get excited about. So Flourish is happening on November 12th. We're taking applications through the end of August. So if you're someone who has had an idea for a while, you should submit it. You never know what could happen with it. I always kind of think to myself, if I never ask or never try, I'll never know. So if you've been itching to try something or create something in Des Moines that people might get pretty excited about, go ahead and submit an application. I'll drop the link in this blog post. So Flourish, again, November 12th, it's $15 to come, which makes it really accessible. So it's like Kickstarter meets Pachacha. I don't actually know how to say that, but that's always how I try to say it. So it's like a quick pitch and then kind of a Kickstarter for business for good. So hope you can make it. $15, super affordable. It's the idea that our whole community can come together and support people in business versus like wealthy investors. I mean, that's just something that I've been thinking about because I don't necessarily have $10,000 that I can write a check to someone for yet. Okay, whatever, you get what I'm saying. Number 2 is the hummingbirds, and we've been posting about this a little bit, not a lot, because basically when we went live with the hummingbirds, which is essentially a micro-influencer marketing program service that is in Brand Launch, this business that I co-own with Whitney Warren, and the idea is to bring a group of community advocates together, local influencers, bloggers, social media people, and these really big champions for Des Moines together to support events, grand openings, everything like that. So our hummingbirds are mostly in the millennial bracket because a lot of people are going to show up at grand openings, take photos, tag, and things like that, something we're just very used to doing. But we love bringing in kind of the older demo as well because they have so many awesome connections that when they share something they're excited about, their friends see it and also participate in this event, business, etc. So we've already started doing some collaborations at this point with the hummingbirds and are just excited to see how this really elevates the community of Des Moines. So we basically are getting tons of applications from hummingbirds, but also seeing a lot of traction with the businesses as well that are just interested in creating some buzz in business. So if you're someone who owns a business or has an event or project and you want people talking about it, and you want like people who are credible and people who are positive forces in Des Moines, this is a really great tool. And what I love about this concept is I was so like micro focused on doing it just in Des Moines and seeing Des Moines thrive, but really there's nothing quite like this at the national or global scale. So it's kind of cool to think that this could become a global brand down the road. Whoa. So yes, Hummingbird stuff. If you follow Brand Launch, you'll see that we are posting about different collaborations and clients and projects and all that sort of stuff. And we're trying to keep that up to date as often as possible. We also are taking clients to where we consider ourselves community engagement experts and community builders, and we infuse all of what we do to build community into social and into in-person experiences. So it's marketing, but it is done through the lens of community building, community development, and engagement. So something a little different, something that Whitney and I are both really passionate about and good at doing. So we're doing it. Yay. Okay, number 3. You can't see this behind me. Well, maybe you can now. It's my whiteboard I'm obsessed with. It just sticks to the wall. It's called Righty Board. If you want a whiteboard, it's great. There was a minor sweating putting it up, but that happens. Okay, so 3 is an umbrella. Something that I finally felt really, really awesome about is all of these like sub-brands and things I've been creating over the years, like Pop-Up Yoga Des Moines and Fem City Des Moines and Drinks in Des Moines and blah, blah, blah in Des Moines. I was kind of like actually frustrated with myself because I'm like, what am I doing? These are all these things that are like so segmented and like have different audiences and require so much work. However, I finally come to realize that what I love doing is building community, so that's great. So essentially the idea of the umbrella is to use Brand Launch as the kind of launch pad for all of these different types of brands that are basically different media outlets and community connection points for niche industries. So basically this umbrella brand is like a lifestyle business that has a lot of different channels and ways that we put content out and add value to people's lives. So we've got ones that already exist right now, but we'll be launching some throughout the next year and beyond, because I think the way that people want to market their business is evolving. We're shifting. We're using micro influencers, but we're also looking to collaborate with more businesses and put our content and services on sites that really align with our business. So instead of maybe putting like an ad in a newspaper that reaches, a couple 100,000 people and you're not sure who's going to see it, why not do it in a blog that's specifically about, yoga, for example, which is the Pop-Up Yoga. So it's really cool to see all of that come together and to, celebrate it instead of be annoyed with myself for all of the things. So very excited to see how we can add value to clients' lives and say, okay, like if you have this event coming up, we want to make sure that we do an interview series with you at Drinks in Des Moines, and we want to make sure that you're in this email list that goes out to a couple thousand people, etc. So one of my favorite things about community engagement is also like integrating everything and saying, so it's basically integrated marketing. So I can nerd out about that, but I'm not going to right now, because the more you can like squeeze all the juice out of the lemon, the more benefit. So there's just so many ways that you can take one thing and give it like a lot of different arrows and a lot of different directions to reach different people. Anyway, that was number 3. That's the thing I have not really talked about with anyone specifically except you. So congrats on learning. Number 4, a month from yesterday, we leave for Southeast Asia for about 5 to 6 weeks. We don't have a return flight, so that's why it's like so up in the air. But basically, that was going to be my takeoff point from leaving my full-time job, but I obviously left earlier. So basically, when I created a business, I was like, I don't want to create something that doesn't create freedom, if that makes sense. So I want to have a business that allows me to do what I want, how I want, and just kind of like treat it like a game. I've talked about this with some of you, is like, why not just treat this whole thing like an experiment? Obviously, I take my work really seriously and who I get to work with, and really value those relationships and partnerships, but I also am kind of like, okay, like I can still do these things for you, but I can do it on the beach in Bali, and it doesn't have to be in Des Moines. So I'm trying to get I've got my creative wheels turning. The clients I already have through my own work and through Brand Launch get that, they understand it, they've signed on and they're cool with it. So it doesn't really matter because the same tools that are available digitally can be used anywhere. I just might have to work until midnight because when it's midnight, it's noon here. So midnight there, noon here. So that's cool. We start by leaving Des Moines, going to Vancouver, and running a half marathon. So there's that. And I have been training-ish. I ran 6 miles yesterday, which isn't even half, but you know, I think that's progress. And so we do that, and then we fly to Singapore for a few days, and then we go to Bali for 7 days or so, and then we'll probably work through most of Thailand, so Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Phuket, and there's some of the beautiful islands. Like, I just want to be surrounded by beauty, and as I shared in a recent blog post, that I just like have felt slightly overwhelmed with the amount of people who want my attention and want coffee and want things from me, and like, it's not a bad thing at all. I don't want to sound like the victim in this scenario, but for like 6 weeks of my life, it'll be so nice to just be unavailable and anonymous. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. It doesn't come from a bad place. It's just life can feel really overwhelming the more you put yourself out there, and like I get it. Like, I kind of dug this hole. I'm in it. Like, it's my own fault in a lot of ways because of the things I've done that I've asked media to cover, and they have. Like, that, I get what I did and what I'm doing, and I see the bigger picture of it, but it doesn't mean that there isn't the other side of it that's overwhelming or exhausting. So there's that. So Southeast Asia coming up soon. So excited. You'll have to follow that adventure on my blog. We'll probably do most of it on Iowa Wanderers. So Zach and I have a blog called Iowa Wanderers. It's like a slurred word, and we haven't really updated it in a while. But the intention was to use it to share a lot of our journeys and experiences. So this will be really fun to kind of revive and give kind of a new perspective of life. So that will be coming it'll be becoming more active soon. So that's great. And then 5, it's got really long. Sorry. If you're hanging around still, thank you. Thank you. 5 is just about, something I'm excited about is just celebrating life. And I mentioned this earlier, the experimentation and just like really living in this zone of appreciation and gratitude has been tremendous. I have a guest article coming out in Lyft Iowa, if they like it, all about this. Like, life doesn't have to be about the hustle and the grind and like working hard. You can shift into this idea of being in alignment. So I write more about this in this article. If they don't publish it, I will, or even if they do, I'll still put it in one of my blog posts because I hope it adds value to your life. But the idea of being in alignment is just getting like really, really happy. So this, for example, makes me really happy. It's my own oat milk latte that I love so much. I'm pretty sure oat milk is only available at Campbell's, to what I know. And I bought an espresso machine, which is so cool. My espresso really isn't that good. We'll work on it. But getting really, really happy, doing the things that bring you a ton of joy in the morning. Like, don't check email. Don't like watch the news if it makes you feel low energy. Do the things that like really lift you up. So whether it's like watching Gilmore Girls or like that's an example. For me, I love like scrolling through Tumblr, which is so like 18-year-old Emily of me, but I don't really care. Some people it's Pinterest, some people it's Instagram or podcasts or like just meditating, like going on a walk. Like it looks different for everyone and it can look different at a different time. But the idea of being in alignment is like you're operating at your highest frequency, so that like the frequency of goodness is going to match that. So if you even like remotely believe in the law of attraction, that hopefully makes sense to you. It's not woo woo, it's just very logical stuff. So like when you're operating a high frequency, you basically like your condition doesn't create your emotion. Does that make sense? It might not if you're like new to this thought process, but the condition of your life. So basically the idea is like, if I have a new car, I will feel this. That's a very like big idea and concept, but like the opposite is saying my emotion is created, so it doesn't matter what the condition is. And so basically when you're operating at pretty high vibes, it doesn't really matter if someone's kind of a jerk to you or, you know, what's going on through your day. You're operating at this high level, and high level vibes match high level vibes. So I am really celebrating that and really owning that process. It's harder to do. I don't really have a good, I don't know, just because there's so much on my plate that I have to carve out that time to be really intentional about it. But when I do it, it's just amazing. And I think celebrating the huge accomplishments of the last few months has been something I've been really trying to do, because it's one thing to like continue aiming higher and higher, which is just who I am and how I operate, but celebrating where I've gotten is pretty fun. I've had, to be very honest with you, I had my first 5-figure month in August, and that has been just tremendous to see in the 3rd month of business. And be really intentional about it. I say to a lot of people, like, this didn't just happen because I had like a secret sauce. I am very intentional about system building and processes and putting good work out there. But I've spent the last 10 years building relationships with people I would want to work with in the future. So that, you know, if you have an idea or something you want to do and you want to work with people, just add value to their life now and build relationships with them. And that's pretty much it, because it's almost 20 minutes of me talking. I probably have to get somewhere soon. Or keep, I don't know, drinking oat milk lattes. I probably will make another one because YOLO. That's it for now. I hope that life is wonderful in your world, wherever you are today. And thanks for catching up with me, and we'll see you soon.